Hey guys, and welcome back to my channel of my life and our world. So as you can see in today's title, today I'm going to be talking all about my roommate experience. I think that this video has been like long awaited, at least for me, because I know I've talked about it before in my other videos, and I'm just ready to talk about this because when I tell people, my friends, my family, kind of like what my whole rooming experience was like, a lot of people are kind of shocked because sometimes you only really hear about like people having good experiences with their roommate or that they became like best friends and they're like soul sisters, blah blah blah. And my situation was not like that. So I'm just gonna get right into this and start from the beginning. All right, to start off the story, the first thing that I did was take my quiz to find a roommate. So as you guys know, when you go to college, you do have the choice that you can choose to room with someone, but you guys both have to sign up to live with each other. But if you don't know anyone and you don't like have any friends that you know you want to room with, then you have to take the risky route and you have to sign up to find a roommate. And so I did a little quiz, asked you all the questions about your living situation, and you submit it and hope for the best. And so that is what I did. I really thought it was going to work out for me. I was just putting it in Destiny's hand, and you know, it didn't work out that way. So after you submit your form, it takes a little while to get a response. I think you sign up this form as soon as like you know you're going to that school, and this is probably before you even graduate high school. You have to sign up for your housing contract and you do the quiz before then. So they have a long time to kind of figure out who to match you with. And I know most schools, they really try to do their best to find you someone that they feel like is going to complement you well and you guys are going to have like compatibility. But I know some people also take it into their own hands and they like do Facebook group chats and they like try to find someone before so they don't have to do the whole quiz thing. But I just didn't do that. I don't know why. I feel like, I don't know, I'm a little stupid for not doing that, but I didn't know if like I was really gonna find someone who I thought was gonna like be a good situation. Now when you get the email from your college, it tells you two things. It tells you where you're staying and who you're staying with. And so in this section it said your roommate is, here's the name, here's her email. That's it. That's all you get. And so, of course, the first thing I did, I shot her an email. I said, hi, this is my name. Here are all of my social media handles. If you want to give me your phone number, that'd be awesome so we can like text back and forth. And I can't wait to meet you. That was really what I said. And I feel like that is like a really good generic email to send to your roommate when you don't know them. But then, of course, I went on investigation mode. I looked up her name on Facebook, Snapchat, Instagram, Google. I looked everywhere for any type of information that I could find about her, and I didn't come up with a lot, let me tell you. I found an Instagram that was like old. I don't know if she like used it anymore. And I found a Snapchat that was like linked to her Instagram. And I think I found a Facebook page, but I'm not really sure. But I know the first impression that I had of her was her Instagram, and I was like a little scared. Like, I don't want to be mean, guys. I'm not going to be using her name. I'm telling this story because I think that it could help a lot of people when they go to college, handling a situation like this, being mature, being an adult, and making sure that you're not rude about it and that you handle it the right way. And in telling the story, I'm just telling you guys my experience, and yeah. I had very high hopes and I was very optimistic. I was like, you know what? She could do whatever and she might be really nice and really cool and down to earth, and I'm just gonna hope for the best. Finally got an email back from her and she gave me her phone number so that we could kind of like text back and forth, and we finally set up a date to go and meet each other in person before we moved in together. And guys, I really recommend this. Do not like meet your roommate for the first time on move-in day. If they live anywhere near you, or if you can FaceTime, or if you can Skype, call, do something where you have this interaction face to face. You see them talking, you're able to build this connection and kind of build a relationship with them. And luckily she lived about an hour away from our college that we were going to, so I set up a little date for us to get to know each other. And so we met at a Kiki's, and literally like the day of that we were going, she like texted me, hey, can I bring my boyfriend with me? And I was like, you know, because like this is the first time I'm meeting her. I wanted it to be like me and her, just us getting to know each other. I'm not living with her boyfriend and she's not living with my boyfriend, you know, so it just didn't make sense for me for that to happen. But I was like, okay. And she's like, I just really don't feel comfortable driving by myself for an hour, which I was kind of like, okay, we're like 18, 19 now. I think you should be fine driving by yourself over 30 minutes, especially if you're going to college there, you know, you're gonna have to make that drive back and forth multiple times. So I was like, okay. So we had this brunch, I guess you could say, and I don't know, I could kind of tell then how things were gonna go. But guys, I wanted things to work out so badly. Like, you could tell, I mean, you could ask my family, you could ask my friends, like people were telling me like, I don't know if this is gonna work out, but I was like, no, like she's really nice, like it's gonna work out, like we're gonna be fine, you know, we're gonna make it work. I could just tell she was very attached to her boyfriend, and her boyfriend was just kind of being like really odd with me. Like I was trying to ask questions and be nice and get to know them, and he was just taking everything the wrong way. Like I told him my favorite movie was The Breakfast Club, and he was like, I didn't understand that movie, like it just doesn't make sense, blah blah blah. I'm like, okay, like that's cool, everyone has different opinions. He's like, no, but like it doesn't make any sense as a movie, it just doesn't. And I was like, okay. And first time meeting people, you're trying not to be rude, okay? So I don't know why, like everything that I was saying, they were just kind of pushing back, saying, no, that's not right, no. Anyway, so fast forward everything, we move in. My parents come with me. That was like our assigned move-in day. I got there super early. As soon as move-in day started, I was there ready to go. And I started moving stuff into my room, and then probably an hour and a half into moving stuff up to my room, I saw that stuff was going on her side. So it's like, okay, I guess she's here. So I had already met her, but obviously my family had not. It was just my mom and my dad that were with me. So after my parents met my roommate, they kind of voiced their opinions pretty early on that they didn't really know if we were going to be really compatible. We were just very different people, and she seemed very like not social, very shy, very kind of timid, and I like really wanted to have like this friendship with her, and she just didn't really look like she wanted to have one with me. So the day continued on. As you know, when you move in to a dorm, the first thing you really want to do is unpack everything. So I was just decorating my room, getting the mood, getting the vibe that I wanted. It was a very exciting day for me because I had dreamed of how I wanted to decorate my dorm since I was little. And as I'm decorating, I would have expected my roommate to start decorating, but instead, all she did for literally like 2.5 hours was sit in a chair under her bed, because she raised it up so that she had an area under her bed. She sat there with her boyfriend for over 2 hours and put glow-in-the-dark butterfly stickers on her wall. Listen, if that's your vibe, I understand, but like she still had so many boxes left in the room. They were all over, and it was like getting claustrophobic in there. So I was kind of hoping that she would start unpacking things, putting the boxes out in the hallway, and just putting stuff away, and she wasn't. She literally was just putting stuff on her wall, like these little glow-in-the-dark little butterflies that didn't even glow in the dark. Because like I was there for 6 months and they never glowed in the dark, let me tell you. Okay, so that happened, and my dad was just like, yo. You know, my dad is a very blunt guy. If you know my dad, you know that he shares his opinions very often, and he was just like, Tati, I don't think this is gonna work out, but hey, if you think you're happy, I'm happy for you. So as time went on, I really wanted to make things work, so I was so nice to her. I was so overly friendly, always asking if she needed anything, if she wanted help with anything, and just trying to get to know her, you know, how her and her boyfriend got together, how long they've been dating, her family, her life, how high school was. Like, I really tried, guys. Like, I don't want you guys to think that I was just like, you know what, I don't like you. You know, like, that was not me. I really wanted to make it work because that was my only option at the time. I didn't think that there was going to be any way for me to get a new roommate or move out of the room or go home. So I really put in the effort. And over time, I started to realize that she wasn't the cleanest. And that is where things started to really go south for me, because our rooming situation was literally just a cube. That was our room. We had a box with closets, and that was it. Like, we had a communal bathroom, we didn't have a sink, we didn't have anything like that, so it was just a room. That was it. And I'm okay with like your room being dirty with clothes because that's literally my life. Like, I told her straight on, I'm like, listen, at home, I am not the cleanest when it comes to clothes. Like, clothes are my downfall. I just hate putting clothes away. But I told her, I'm like, I'm really gonna try to keep it clean because we don't have a lot of space. So I'm gonna give my cleanliness like a 7 out of 10. And she was like, oh, awesome. I'm a 7 out of 10 too. So this is when I started to realize that she wasn't being dirty with clothes, she was being dirty with food. And that was one of the biggest problems for me, was because we didn't have a sink or a bathroom in our room. It was just like a cube, like 4 walls with built-in closets, and that was it. We had a communal bathroom, and a lot of the time people didn't really eat in their room. They ate at one of the cafeterias or they ate at one of the cafes that we had on campus. But if we did eat in the room, a lot of people, most college kids, use paper plates because it's easy to throw away, and if you don't have a sink, that is the most sanitary way to do it, you know, because no one wants to go into the bathroom that they use to actually go to the bathroom and to shower and see in the sink that there's like dirty food, you know, like that's disgusting. So like a lot of people wouldn't wash their plates in our bathroom, which I think is the right thing to do. Like, don't do that. But my roommate wanted to have like regular plates and silverware and bowls and everything. So at first I was like, okay, that's fine. As long as she cleans it, I don't care. And I realized that she wouldn't clean it. She had like this basket that she would put all of her dirty dishes in, and guys, it would just stack up and stack up and stack up and be there for weeks at a time. She wouldn't clean it. And like, she had like cereal bowl, banana peels on the floor. Like, I'm not exaggerating. And if my roommate ends up watching this and you don't agree with me, I have videos for proof, because people that I told didn't believe me. My parents, my RA, and I wanted to have proof that this is actually what was going on. So anytime that the room was like extremely dirty, which was most of the time, I took a video of it and I took pictures. And I don't think that's an invasion of privacy if you're making me uncomfortable if I'm living there also.
So I'm like really mad at myself right now because I just realized that I didn't even finish the story. I don't understand how I missed so many crucial parts to this video. But I just wanted to let you know some of the other important things you should know about this whole story. So one of the things was, my roommate was not only messy. One of the biggest concerns that I had about our rooming situation was that she did not inform me when we first met or when we met up for the first time that she had sleep terrors or night terrors. And this is when you wake up in the middle of the night from a bad dream or a nightmare, and you wake up literally screaming at the top of your lungs, thinking that you're like getting killed or kidnapped, or I don't know what was going on in her head. And I don't know if she had to take medication for it, but in order for her not to get the dreams and the night terrors every single night, she had to listen to music out loud to go to sleep. And the first night that I was there with her, she asked me if she could put some music on to go to sleep. And I thought that she meant like with headphones. I was like, yeah, girl, do whatever you gotta do you. And then she starts playing it out loud. And of course I was like, what? You know? And I didn't really know what to do, because how was I supposed to say, actually, can you not do that? So I just didn't say anything. Luckily, I brought a fan that was super loud, so I put it on high every night so that it drowned out the music. Or honestly, sometimes when she fell asleep, I'd like go to her phone and turn the music down. I know that sounds so bad, but I just couldn't go to sleep because it was so loud, and I didn't know how to tell her that because I'm stupid and I get nervous with stuff like that. So there was multiple times during the semester, like probably once a week or once every 2 weeks, that she would wake up screaming. Sometimes I was awake while it happened, sometimes I wasn't, so it was definitely frightening for me, and that was weird. And another thing was, she never left the dorm. Like, she was always there, she never left. I think she left to go home one weekend, and her boyfriend would come sometimes, not very often, but he was the only person that she would clean her room for. Not me, but him. Gotta love it. She also said that she was vegan or vegetarian, but she was always making like really weird food in the dorm. Like without even asking me, she would just like be cooking up all this food in the microwave. And you know, like when you make something through the microwave and it smells good or bad, it makes the whole room smell like that for 2 or 3 hours. And so I'd come in trying to go to sleep and it just smells so bad. And she just like was eating all this weird stuff. And I was just like, I wanted to ask her, like, hey, could you tell me next time? So instead, I got air freshener. And so I would spray the room. And along with that, her natural smell was very pungent. Some people just, they don't smell naturally good. I'm sorry, but like, you know how you go to your grandma's house or your mom's house and it smells like them? Her smell wasn't that good. So like I was like, whatever, that's fine. So I would spray the room with like Febreze and it smelled really good and it was like to get rid of odor. And she would complain to me. She was like, can you stop spraying that so much? Like it's hurting my nose. Like it's just really strong. And I was like, yeah, I'll lighten up on the Febreze, man. I'm sorry. I just wanted to tell you guys all the things that were going on while I was living there because I didn't want you guys to be like, oh, she was dirty. That was it. Okay, like poor you. I've been through worse. Because I do know that people have roommates that drink or smoke or do drugs or they party a lot or they're constantly having guys over and that's like disgusting. But my situation, for me, I was uncomfortable and that's why I wanted to share it with you guys. But to let you know, I ended up being able to cancel my housing contract and move back home. And that was a great blessing. Fate did bring us together one last time. And I did have a class with her my second semester, which was awkward the first couple weeks, I will admit. And I honestly don't even know if she goes to Rollins anymore, which is sad to say. She ended up not coming to the class anymore, like halfway through the semester. I don't know if she dropped out of that specific class or she dropped out of school altogether. I did send her a text message when I did leave the dorm and I did go back home, letting her know that I would hope that if she did get a new roommate ever in the future, that she would let them know ahead of time that she had these medical conditions, that she had night terrors, that she required music to go to sleep, and that she was not the cleanest, because I think that that is just being considerate of the other person, and that I hoped that she knew I did move out of the dorm for multiple reasons that were not just her. So, yeah. I hope this clears up some things. I hope you enjoy the rest of the video.
You have to understand that besides things going south with my roommate, there was a lot of other things that contributed to me wanting to live back at home with my parents. I didn't like the meal plan, and there was just parts about living on campus and being a freshman that I just didn't really feel at home with, and being in a 3-year relationship and not wanting to go out and party all the time. I didn't make like a lot of friends, which I was okay with. I met like 2 or 3 people that I became really close with, and that's all I needed. Ultimately, I hope that the biggest things that you took away from this little story time of what happened with my roommate is that you know like how to handle a situation with your roommate if things do go wrong or if things aren't going how you planned, and kind of what your options may be if things aren't going how you like them to go. But also just realizing how the process actually happens when you go to college and you get a roommate, and how things can kind of play out, you know, because sometimes a lot of kids are a little oblivious and they think that things are going to be perfect and then they aren't, and they just feel stuck. And that's kind of what happened to me. I just want to tell you guys that in no way or form do I like hate my roommate that I had, or do I dislike her. I think that she was actually a really nice person and she had a lot of great qualities to her, but at the end of the day we did have 2 very different lifestyles, and I just think that there was parts where she just didn't understand how she was being a little disrespectful by not cleaning her side and blah blah blah. So I hope you guys really enjoyed this story time video. I know it's a little different than what I normally do, but this is a video that I've been really wanting to post for a while. I'm really sorry if this video was super long. I've really been trying to keep my videos like shorter than 15 minutes, but it's hard to talk about something that you're a little uncomfortable about and you don't want to hurt people's feelings, but at the end of the day you know that it might help someone else. But also don't forget to subscribe to my channel and like it if you can. I would really appreciate that. And don't forget to turn on the bell notifications so that every time I post a video you can find out when it is live. So So I love you guys so much. Thanks for watching this video, and I'll see you next time.